So an investigation is underway after a woman was found in an apartment this morning. Now, police were called to the building on Brittany Park Drive in South Nashville after a concerned friend asked police to do a welfare check. Officers found 26-year-old Kierra Timmons unresponsive.
Looking for Darrion Young. News 2's Alexia Shiropoulos spoke to those closest to the victim's family who say the only way to find closure is by finding Kierra's killer.
Laverne police came knocking on my door at 9:30, telling me they had found her car abandoned and couldn't find her.
So we have a unfortunate where a young woman's body was found in her ex-boyfriend's apartment. Her boyfriend took her car and now is on the run. So you tune into the right place because we're going to try and find this guy. And we're also going to expose some stuff that he already did in the past. This is Fugitive TV. Stay tuned. Welcome to Fugitive TV. Like it says on the hat right here, I am your host, Ray Marcel, where we take a look at cases of either missing individuals and we try and locate the missing people, or sometimes even fugitives on the run, or any case that might need a different perspective. Because the reason why this is called Fugitive TV, I once was a fugitive myself. I was on the run for 15 years. I did some white collar crime. I went on the run. I was on the run for 15 years. I was living in different countries under different names, and then eventually ended up turning myself in because stuff started to catch up, opened up a few businesses, and now I'm a motivational speaker. And now I'm trying to help family members locate missing individuals or locate people that just need to be found. And who else is better to do it than somebody like me that knows what it takes to be on the run or not want to be found, all right? So today we're going to take a look at a case, okay? This case is very disturbing, all right? A young woman by the name of Kierra, I believe I'm pronouncing her name right, Kierra Timmons. She was found unalive. Now, we can't say the M word, M-U-R-D-E-R, on YouTube for smaller channels like mine. They flag it. And not only that, they don't promote the video, which means the video does not go out to the masses. So in order for me to make sure this video spreads, I have to obey by their guidelines, unfortunately. So Kierra was found in an apartment, okay? And the apartment she was found in was not her apartment. It was her boyfriend's apartment at that time, or a man that she was possibly seeing.
Stacy Dodson was notified by police a week ago that her niece, 26-year-old Kierra Timmons, was missing. They found her red Dodge Charger abandoned on a bridge along I-24 in Kentucky, with the engine running and the door open.
She has no family, nothing in Kentucky. And then I had to get in touch with her best friend, and her best friend happened to have her location. And that's how we found her, at his apartment.
Well, she was found in an apartment unalived, strangled, unfortunately. And when they found her, he was not there. They don't know where they didn't know where he was at. And I'm going to get into more of the details of the case for you. I'm going to read an article so you guys can understand. But right now, I was going to give you a brief description. And later on, they ended up finding her car abandoned at a bridge, okay? A bridge that went over a river. Car was running, door was open, hazard lights was on, and the boyfriend's license was still in the seat. Almost made it look like he jumped off the bridge into the river. Well, we're going to explain to you why he probably didn't jump off and why he is probably on the run. So let me give you the actual details and read from one of the news articles about this case. So this is from WKRN. Okay, it says family mourning after woman strangled to death and Antioch boyfriend identified as suspect. So this is out of Nashville, Tennessee. Law enforcement across Tennessee and Kentucky are looking for a man after his girlfriend was found dead in his Antioch apartment last weekend. On Friday, March 13th, officials said Kentucky State Police found 26-year-old Kierra Timmons red Dodge Charger abandoned on an Interstate 24 bridge over the Cumberland River with engine running and the door open and hazard lights flashing on. Laverne police came knocking on my door at 9:30, telling me they had found her car abandoned and couldn't find her. This was in Kentucky, so I tried to reach her, but I couldn't get her, Kierra's aunt. Now, this is coming from Kierra's aunt. Dotson was notified by police last weekend that her niece was missing, raising concerns according to Dotson. Kierra had no family or connections in Kentucky. I had to get in touch with her best friend, and her best friend happened to have her location, and that's how we found her at his apartment. After Kierra's loved ones alerted the Metro Nashville Police Department, officers joined two of her friends for a welfare check and found Kierra dead in 37-year-old Darrion Young's apartment along Brittany Park Drive on Saturday. Okay, so the man's name is Darrion Young. He is 37 years old, and like I said, we're going to get into his background and maybe where he could be at. Officials ruled her cause of death as strangulation. She had talked about him to me, Dotson said, referring to Kierra's boyfriend. Young and I disapproved of certain things he would do. I told her it wasn't healthy. So it sounds like he was already controlling. And he has a background to prove that he was controlling. So it sounds like he wanted it to go his way. Now, this is a photo of him. This photo looks like it's old, maybe an old mugshot. I also have an updated photo I'm going to share with you guys. Authorities said Young's license was found inside Kierra's abandoned car. He reportedly last seen in Nashville on Friday, hours before the Dodge Charger was located in Kentucky. I know he has tattoos on his face, so he shouldn't be hard to recognize, she stated. Kierra's sister, Kaylee, met Young and even opened her home to him. She was just looking for love, and that guy would treat her good at some points. Then he would accuse her of cheating, and it was just a bad situation. He seemed like he had good intentions because he was like advising her to go back to school. He would help her financially. Kaylee knew her sister's concerns, but she did not know how bad things really were behind closed doors. I just don't understand why he just decided to take her life, Kaylee said. I just can't fathom it. In my own mind, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Kierra's family hopes to one day understand that what led up to her death, but for now, they will continue to hope and pray for her closure.
Family and friends alerted police, who found Kierra lifeless in her boyfriend's apartment along Brittany Park Drive in Antioch. Police say she looked as if she'd been strangled.
He had talked about him to me. I disapproved because of certain things he would do.
Police say 37-year-old Darrion Young is responsible, but they don't know where he is.
I know he has tattoos on his face.
Kierra Timmons' sister Kaylee met Darrion, even opening her home to him. She tells me
she was just looking for love, and that guy would treat her good at some points, and then he would accuse her of cheating, and it was just a bad situation.
She knew her sister's concerns, but she didn't know how bad things really were behind closed doors.
So I'm not a detective. I can only go off, based off experience of people I've been around, what I know, being in the underground world, all kind of things. And when I read about the sister's testimony, or I should say the sister's statements and the auntie statements about what's going on, it sounds like it wasn't good to begin with, okay? One statement says that he was always blaming her for cheating. Now, we don't know if she was cheating or not. I wasn't there, but I do know sometimes when a person is cheating, a lot of times they will blame the other person. So say, for example, if Darrion was the one cheating, he could have been, I don't know, I wasn't there, then he could be blaming her for it, but we don't know. Now, we do know that she was found inside his apartment, strangled. That is very emotional. Usually when that happens, it's emotional. Something happened, something went down. Either she tried to break up with the man, either she confronted him about something and he just wasn't having it, or either he did flip out and think she was cheating or something and wasn't having it, okay? A lot of times when you see that happens, or this type of situation, it's one of the two things, but we both know, or we all know, it's very emotional when that happens. Somebody can't control their temper, okay? Now, he does have a background to where you can see some charges where it looks like he just has a anger issue, a temper issue, whatever you want to call it, because there's a violent past. Take a look. We're going to take a look at his record together. I'm going to show you guys this, okay? It's not too pretty. So 2018, he had resisting, interfering with an arrest, detention, or stop. He also had a domestic assault, fourth degree. It says first offense. He also has resisting or interfering with arrest, Again, then right here is going to give you the details of what he has, the arrest, the dates. Then he also has 2016 possession of up to 35 grams. Okay, that's of marijuana. Then he has right here. I'm wondering what this is about. Okay, you guys see this? Crime, SEX, assault / force. So did he force himself upon somebody? This is back in 2008 in Illinois. All right. So did he force himself upon somebody? This is actually a first-class felony. So this makes it look like this is pretty much RAPE. Okay. That's what this looks like. He also has from February 6th, which is recent, 2022, assault, 2nd degree. This is out of Maryland. All right. Cecil, Maryland is where this is from. Like I said, this guy's record is, not the best. Definitely wild. Driving while revoked, suspended, 2nd or 3rd offense, 2018. All right. This is out of Missouri. Then he has unlicensed, operate uninsured motor vehicle, possession of cannabis, again, 2.5 to 10 grams, seatbelt requirements, crime, damage to property, no valid registration, 1st and 2nd. And then it was also operating an uninsured vehicle. Wow. I mean, yeah, driving on suspended license again. So he has 2 of those. Then another operating under uninsured vehicle. So yeah, this guy's criminal background, I mean, he already showed flags. And a lot of this stuff is in Missouri. Okay, I'm realizing a lot of it is in Missouri. Mostly almost everything is in Missouri is what I'm looking at. Now, they found his car abandoned off the bridge, I-24 and the Cumberland River in Kentucky, okay? And like I said, the car was running, hazard lights was on, door was open, and his license was in the vehicle. What I would like to know, was it just his license or was it his whole wallet? That will make a difference, okay? If it was just his license, he purposely did it. If he just left the license, but, kept his wallet, that's because he has cards, debit cards or a credit card, cash or money, and he needs that right now to survive. So I'm interested to know exactly if he left the wallet or he left the license. Okay. Now, did he do this to make it look like, oh, he jumped in the river and nobody will look for him again? You get what I'm saying? And not only that area, I don't see any traffic cameras in that area whatsoever. So it is an area to where he could ditch the car, make it look like something happened, and nobody would know because I don't see any traffic cameras. And not only that, it is also on the way to a couple locations that I did find on his background report. One is in Missouri, in Springfield, Missouri. Okay. He has friends out there in Springfield. And then he also has connections into Illinois. I believe it's East St. Louis, Illinois, and St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. So the direction that car was going can lead to all 3 of those locations. So I'm wondering if he called somebody or had somebody meet him around that area where he dropped the car off, left his license in the car, and then, they took off to one of those 3 areas. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, this right here, I'm guessing this is the area where they found the car, because this is I-24 and that is Cumberland River. Now from here, it doesn't look that deep, but I did Google to see how deep it was. It said it could be anywhere from 50 to 100 feet deep. So I'm guessing, it is pretty deep water. So if you did jump off in there and you can't swim, yes, it could be pretty deep is what it told me. So I'm guessing maybe the vehicle was parked here on the side of the bridge somewhere. I don't know how busy this bridge is or how busy this section is during the day or the night. So the man he has addresses in Missouri and Illinois. But when I found out the area of where the car was abandoned, and I was like, hold on, that's on a way to Missouri. So if you look at the straight line, look at that straight line. That's a 5-hour drive to one of the locations that shows up on his report through a friend of his, actually. So if you follow that blue line, that goes right down to one of his friends' area. And like I said, straight drive. So let's say if he had a friend come pick him up at the bridge where he left the car to make it look like he jumped in the water, it's just a straight drive. Pick him up and then go right back over to his house. Now he's in Missouri, where he's very familiar with. And if he didn't go to the area of where I saw one of his possible friends might live at, also St. Louis. So if you follow the light blue line right here, where you see my arrow, could have easily went up to St. Louis, easily into Missouri. So once I saw the direction they found the car, I started thinking to myself, is he headed back to Missouri because he's very familiar with Missouri? And like I said before, I also saw locations in Illinois. Okay. So here's another example. If he wanted to go up to Illinois, it's only a 2-hour and 50-minute drive. So pretty much 3 hours. And it's also in that same direction to Illinois, which I believe is East St. Louis, Illinois, which I didn't even know that existed till now. But East St. Louis, Illinois is another area. So you have Springfield, you have St. Louis, and East St. Louis, Illinois that he could have easily went to because it's going in that direction. Now, one thing what people usually do when they go on the run, the first thing they go for is an area or a person they know. That's most of the time the first thing they do. They go to somewhere they know, where they think they might be safe, or even a person they know where they think they might be safe. It could be a friend, it could be a relative, it could be a girlfriend, an ex-girlfriend that they think, hey, this person's not going to tell me I'm going to be safe here. Let me lay my head here until I figure out my next move or what to do. 90% of the time, almost 100% of the time, when somebody goes on a run, that's exactly what they do. And that's why I showed you guys these locations, because these locations are very familiar to him. He's gotten trouble in these locations. He's got family in these locations, and he's got friends in these locations. So I would not be shocked if he is watching right now from one of these 3 locations, because another thing you're going to do is you're also going to pay attention to the news. You're going to pay attention to every little step. If the news is on you, on your trail, or anything like that, and he's gonna hope that they are not on his trail, because if they're on his trail and he sees it, and he doesn't have a next plan, that's when the person, the fugitive, or whoever that's wanted can mess up, because they already don't have a plan. Okay, so now they're just panicking on what to do. They're going to be sloppy and they can mess up. Hopefully that's what this guy does. He's sloppy, he panics, and he messes up. My condolences go out to the family. This young lady, this should have not happened to her. This shouldn't happen to anybody, actually. People need to learn how to control their tempers, learn how to control their emotions, first of all. And as you see with his past is already violent, especially with that forceful SEX act that was a felony, first-class felony at that. So he already had issues. I want to say thank you guys for watching Fugitive TV. We are almost at 25,000K subs. We have got this within the last 9 months. It has been crazy. I am one of the fastest growing YouTube channels in the true crime area. Topic. And I think it's because I'm being real with you guys, honest with you guys, and telling you like how it is. And don't forget, sign up for the membership, okay? Just click on the button, the membership, very affordable. And the membership is for when I do case updates, especially for court updates. Those are going to be for members only. Not only that, when I do lives, the lives are for everybody. But if you miss the live and you want to see the replay, I keep it up. But the replay is for members only too. Plus other benefits. You get discounts, okay? You get discounts on the merch that you see below or to the side. All you have to do is become a member and then email me. And I send you a code, so that way, hey. And when I do live, members only, when they have questions, they get their questions answered first, all right? So thank you for tuning in to Fugitive TV. Please like, subscribe, share. Share this story, matter of fact, so Darrion Young could get caught. So please share this. And comment below, what do you think about this story? Are you familiar with the story, okay? Please comment below. And not only that, if you have any information you can tell me, you're welcome to email me. And let me know the city, state, or country that you're watching this from. I try and interact with everybody that I can. This is Fugitive TV. Please take care of one another. All right? Look out for your surroundings. Look at your surroundings. I'm out.